There we go. Pops today. We got to go do some stuff with a boat, so. So Saudi Arabia came out and said Joe Nickelslick tried to coerce them into postponing their decision to reduce oil production by 2 million barrels. He tried to coerce them into postponing that until after midterms. Until after midterms. Go figure, right? Last thing I remember, I thought quid pro quo was an impeachable offense, right? It almost sounds like some election meddling, in my opinion, right? I know this is, you know, I already know the answer to this, but why is it okay when they do some shady shit, right? Okay when they skirt the law, when they skirt the rules, but when anybody else try to skirt the rules, it ain't cool, right? Now, excuse me for not having I don't got my tripod or anything with me, so I'm holding this by my, you know, with my hand or whatever. But this goes to show you that we got an incompetent commander-in-chief. If you didn't already know this shit. We begging other countries, right? We begging Saudi Arabia. We begging Iran, right? We was asking Russia at a point to produce more oil, even though we throwing fighting words and talking shit about these countries. Meanwhile, we got all the resources here in America to produce our own energy. Remember, under Donnie T, we was energy independent. But the minute Nickelslick got in office, he shut down the XL and the Keystone pipeline along with I don't know how many countless jobs. To pander for the quote-unquote Green New Deal. Sorry about that. To pander for this quote-unquote Green New Deal. Right? So it's cool when other countries frack and drill and all this other shit for oil and energy, right? But as long as America ain't doing it, it's okay, right? It's just one big virtue signal. The thing is that he could easily fix this issue with the stroke of a pen, like I said yesterday. Reinstate the permits that were already given out to the oil companies, allow them to frack and drill here and produce our energy and oil here. Like I said before, and I told other people, right? Like, if there's an orange juice shortage, and I got the ability to produce oranges here in America, I fucking got Florida oranges here in America. Why the fuck am I buying oranges from Guatemala? It's ridiculous. But I'm gonna tell you why. It's because a lot of these special interest groups, a lot of these politicians got their hands in the pocket of these countries. A lot of our politicians, our Congress people, and our senators got their hands in the pocket of OPEC. They get kickbacks and money, that finder's fee, remember? Now, Saudi Arabia said this was an economic decision that they made to help curb this global recession that we got going on, that Nickelslick's administration finally starting to come to grips with, saying that, oh, we might be going into a recession. Nigga, we've been in a recession for the last 2 years. Inflation is at 8.5%. It's been steadily on the rise. And like we said before, it's October. And what we say? We said come October, we were going to start to see a lot of shortages come harvest season, and we in harvest season. And what we seeing? A lot of shortages, right? Right now we getting gas. Let's see, how much did it cost? Let me see if y'all can't see this shit. I'm gonna show you right now. That's how much it costs to fill this truck up. $221.10 to fill up this truck just now. What's the price on it? $5.29 a gallon. $5.29 a gallon. Yeah, Natasha, food inflation at 50%. What up, Jay? Jay said that's what Nixon did with the NAM issues. Hold off on the peace talks for election.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Nigga named Cali Muscle Big Nigga. He took that shit down there down.
Hey, Dad.
Yo.
So we live. What do you think about this? What do you think about the inflation? You think we've been in a recession or we just going in?
We've been in a recession, but it's gonna get much worse. It's gonna get much worse. Houses gonna stop selling, and these guys that are doing these house flips gonna get caught up if they don't realize to sell their stuff now. If they don't sell their stuff now, they're gonna get caught up. And they're gonna.
That's all you see on YouTube. Sell everything.
Man, I've been through this before, so I already know what's gonna happen. These guys are flipping houses. They've been making a lot of money, and now some of these guys don't realize the signs. Like what we do to prepare for a recession, we start seeing hospitals go up and construct because people get sick. Buildings stop being built, so they start renting out what's already available, not building. So we stop selling buys. House I got unless I had it on Section 8. And the guys on Section 8, they the winners. The ones that are renting out their houses to Section 8, that it doesn't matter if a hurricane hits, if a flood hits, an earthquake hits, the world comes to an end, that clock keeps ticking, that check keeps getting cut.
Yeah.
So those guys are going to make out. Those smart guys that are doing the rentals for Section 8. But the ones that are doing rentals with Harry Homeowner, they're going to start going into having to go to court to evict people, which takes 90 days, and then people get pissed off and tear up the house, and you don't have the money to recoup it. So the guys with money, they sit back and just wait for all these wannabe house flippers to just go under, and then they just start picking up houses for pennies. And that's how it works. Every recession goes the same way, but this one's gonna be worse than most.
Y'all hear that? And right now, food is up 50%. Just basic staples up 50%. Milk, eggs, cheese, stuff like that. What up, Robert Banks? He says, I eat 21 eggs a week, and my wife and kids. What you say? My wife and kids eat a dozen. A carton of 18 cost me how much? $6.50 the other day. I don't know how people just what they say, I don't know how people just by are making it, bro. I don't know. You just getting the buy making it. Yeah, what's going on, Joe? Appreciate you coming through. But yeah, it's gonna get bad. It's gonna get worse. You're gonna start to see like crop shortages. Like you're gonna see shortages in vegetables, stuff like that, milk, eggs. You already had all of these food processing plants mysteriously catching fire and going down. Like I said, in order for them to have their quote unquote great reset, they gotta crash the system, right? Because if it ain't broke, you can't fix it, right? So they gotta break the system. And for Joe Nickelslick to come out and we might be going into a recession. Well, we've been into a recession for the last 2 years is laughable. Especially now when Saudi Arabia's outed him, saying that he was asking us to hold off on our oil reduction, production until after midterms, because he need to make him look good. He's losing left and right. The left don't look real savory right now in court of popular opinion. A lot of people are starting to lose their Democrats, and he need a win. And like I said yesterday, every time a president ain't looking good, what they do? They either got to go kill somebody in the name of democracy, or they got to go join somebody war, or they got to start a war with them. So right now, it looked like he want to start sending troops over there to Little Russia. We already send them more money and more aid over there. We're gonna send so much money to Little Russia, aka the Ukraine, that we probably could have bought that country 10 times over. Meanwhile, look at us now. People here, people here at home are struggling. That money could have went to something so much more worthwhile than to somebody else's war.
It told you some shit last time.
Now they worried about. I don't think he hit that nuclear button, but he might hit that EMP button.
Okay.
Shut down our infrastructure.
Last time.
You know?
No, we went up 97 and we got off.
But speaking of midterms, as midterms come up, we're going to start to see a lot of dissenting voices. A lot of people questioning official narratives going to start getting 86th. They're going to start getting their channels taken from them. Just letting you know that right now. You see what's happening with Alex Jones, right? He being made an example of. He being made an example of.
Go ahead, David.
He wasn't the first person to challenge the narrative of that day. He wasn't the first person to challenge the findings or the investigation regarding that school. But that's what they went after him for, because they couldn't shut him up.
Yeah.
They couldn't shut him up. You know, so you're gonna start to see more of that. You know, somebody in my chat yesterday said they think that Joe Rogan and Tim Pool next. I don't know. Maybe.
You got that ibuprofen is down there on that table.
But you're gonna start to see more of that. Chase Bank,
It's right there on my side of the
canceling
table.
Kanye West's bank account with them because of what he said. Freedom of speech is under attack. Freedom of speech is under attack. Joe says Charlie Indigo doesn't want any dissent from the people. You have to believe everything they put in the media. That's facts. That's facts. That's facts. That's what they want, right? Somebody on my Twitter said it may not be. It means free speech is under attack, but it's also, he said, this is a shot across the bow to anybody that want to investigate or dig deeper into certain narratives. Hanging Alex Jones up, she putting his head on the pike to discourage anybody from speaking out against anything. I find it odd that they purged him from all social media and all of his content from social media before they went after him. You know why? Because people would have went out. It's called the Streisand effect. They would have wanted to hear what he said. What did he say about that school? Right? But if you can't find it, you can't investigate it yourself. That's what happened. That's what they're doing. So they can push their narrative. They use that to get him out of the paint. They use that to get him out of the paint, guys. Like I said, you want to know who in power? Find out who you can't make fun of. Kanye West finding that out right now because Chase Bank don't want to bank with him no more. And it's not just Chase Bank. How many banks does JP Morgan own? Right? Think about it. But things will get worse, guys. We're in that dystopian future. We're in that dystopian future. I just want to let you guys know that. It's here. The thing is, are you going to stand 10 toes down on what you believe, or are you going to bow down to the powers that be? You going to stand up for yourself and for your rights? Or are you going to give in? Eventually they're going to come for all of us. I know I'm a small channel, but they done suspended me twice for some shit that I wasn't wrong about. Nick Ricada got taken off of YouTube. Luckily he got his channel back, but he got taken down. stayed 10 toes down. Never wore the muzzle. Never took the Yameen. I never caught the Yameen. Took my daily herbs. Prayed. God is great. That's right. That's right. That's right.
What the fight?
She had to put your job up with 100.
That's right. Now look at everybody that the Yameen. They sitting there with their mouths wide open. When that pharmaceutical company came out and said, yeah, we never tested to see if it was actually a viable option. We never tested to see if it actually worked. But Hotep's been told you. Dr. Tanai Rich been told you.
She got some type of.
But I'll tell you this though, them side effects damn sure work, don't they? Them side effects damn sure work, don't they?
Yeah, man, that don't get the highest.
You got that sudden adult death syndrome that's been happening. What's up, Joshua? Pure bloods, they showing people got clots, yeah. Them side effects sure enough work, don't they? They made everybody take that shot. That's what they said out their mouth.
They said the fucking shit didn't work. What the fuck are we talking?
They said they never tested to see if it actually worked. Meanwhile, you got family members that was fighting amongst each other. They won't talk to each other. Wouldn't let people in their houses. You had people that had to go watch their family members die behind a bubble. The hospitals wouldn't let you in. Your churches wouldn't let you in unless you had the Yameen. Your churches, when they supposed to believe in God and believe that He gonna pull you through.
The first one? No, I didn't. I never watched that. The second one I did.
Yeah, I watch him every night.
I had family members that wouldn't let me come over to their house because I didn't get the Yameen. But now people finding blood clots. Women can't have babies. Can't get.
I told everybody, this is how you do this. This is how you get when they blow it up. You can give people shit that the baby's gonna have the effects and dying on the way out, and that's what's happening. That's what that thing was. So the European Union now wanted Pfizer to answer these questions. He wouldn't even show up.
That's right. That's right. The crazy ones, though. The crazy ones, though, right?
Now,
crazy conspiracy theories.
Right now, all the governments in Europe want to go up because they're starting to see all these side effects and women starting to have miscarriages. Well, I was trying to tell everybody that that's how you get population control. You create a pandemic and then you scare everybody into taking some poison that's going to make women have birth defects and what have you. There's already a few in Maryland that I know personally that had birth defects, or they got, unfortunately, they want the abortion method because the babies were deformed in the womb or was having issues, but yet they took that dang on booster shot, naked shot, and every other shot. Now they got problems with their reproductive system.
That's right. My father don't have an immune system. He had it twice.
3 times.
3 times. And he's still here.
Oh, man. That shit was a cold, no smell.
A cold with no smell, he said. Joe says, Yang was never about curing anything. It was desperate for control of the people. Part of the Great Reset. Control the language. Control the people. That is what they want. That's true.
Joe is partially right. That was many people get that mark because, get that shot because they couldn't go to work. The Bible tells you that there's going to be a time where you can't buy or sell unless you have a mark of the beast on your right hand or on your forehead. So if you were going to be the devil and you want a dry run of that, how would you do it? You would create a pandemic where you couldn't get on a subway in New York City, couldn't walk into a store, lose your job. So either you're going to take something that you know has an adverse effect on your body, but you took it because you had to go to work. The Bibles that are outside of the King James Bible says in your right hand or in your forehead. So how in the world would the Bible know in? In means a chip, right? I mean, if you're gonna put something in, but if you look at the other Bible versions, like New Translation and the rest of them, They say on, but the King James specifically says you cannot take the mark in your right hand or in your forehead. That's pretty significant. In is a significant change.
We've been trying to tell you what's coming. We've been trying to tell you what's coming. And I said that too on my channel. It's the test run. This was all the test run. Now what we got? We got monkeypox coming now. They're gonna try that. All right, they got cases of polio breaking out in New York now, apparently. Like, how you got these old viruses resurging? Unless you letting them out on purpose. I'm telling you guys, come the 2024 elections, they're gonna figure out how to put the house again, and they're gonna put them penny savers back out and have people voting that way.
People ain't gonna vote for it this time, hopefully.
We already see what they trying to do. We see the flim flam. We see the jukes.
Wait, that was bullshit the first time.
Nickelslick think that he thought Saudi Arabia was going to be on his side. He thought Saudi Arabia was going to go ahead and do what he asked him to do. But what the dude from China told Nickelslick, he said, "You are weak and you ain't in no position to negotiate." I really hope you guys paying attention out there.
His ass is weak.
And I hope you guys got some real buyer's remorse for putting him in office. All y'all niggas out there doing electric slide in DC because y'all got rid of, Donnie T because he said a couple of mean things in his Twitter, on his Twitter. Some stuff that some of y'all needed to hear. And then y'all sitting here with y'all mouths open like, how am I pay my rent? I can't afford gas.
Well, that's their fault. Y'all thought the red man was bad. Red man bad. Orange man bad. But look, Orange man was letting black folk out of jail. Orange man put the HBC, the historical black colleges into the White House. They gone now. He done kicked them out. And if you think I'm lying, pull up in YouTube where Judge Joe Brown said he was in a meeting where Joe Biden said you can't let black kids into these schools because they be like roaches. If they get in, you'll never get them out. That was a direct quote coming from Judge Joe Brown. It's on YouTube. You can find it. He's saying it. He said the only reason no one knew about it because there wasn't no iPhones and no camera phones back then.
So they told y'all for 4 years that Orange Man was the racist and he was the one that was a detriment to the United States, but then y'all voted in the real race. The real man.
Right. I mean, he was telegraphed. I mean, what bothers me is that black folk don't want white folk telling them what to do, but the minute they turn on CNN, they would have put themselves on the Amistad. They'd have walked, somebody would have told them, hey, this boat gonna take you on an adventure. They'd be like, oh, okay. But people down there tell them, hey, this is a slave ship. No, they say they're gonna put us on an adventure. You know, put the shackles on your damn self.
Yeah, Jay Powell says that's them Amazon hand scanners, the early test run for the chips.
For the chip.
He says Nickelslick kicked out the Haitians ASAP. Everybody looked the other way. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Hey, yo, I gotta ask you a question, Davon, yo. How many people you know that's in federal prison for simple possession?
I mean, simple possession really don't make it a federal prison.
Right. So Joe Biden said that he was going to let anybody in prison, federal prison, for simple marijuana possession.
Simple marijuana possession don't even hold that much damn time. A simple possession.
Yeah.
So there ain't really too many people. I don't know nobody that even ever got tried.
Right.
Simple possession.
He said
unless they had like goddamn 300 pounds, but that's with intent. That's with intent, right?
No, if you wanna do something, do what Donald Trump did, let him out for the 3-strike rule that that Clinton put into place.
He wrote it.
Yeah. So watch this guy. The 3-strike rule, and these people are serving time for marijuana possession because they went in there 3 times. That's letting people out of jail, which Donald Trump was doing, and he stopped it.
That makes sense because so if somebody's in jail for simple marijuana possession federally, that means they had some federal time that was already backing up.
Yeah.
They got out on parole, they had some federal time that was backing up, and they got because they were smoking weed on the porch.
That's the only way that I think to think of that.
So yeah, if you let them out for those 3-strike rules, those non-offensive, non-violent drug crimes or non-violent crimes, yeah. Joe Biden just pump faking because ain't a whole lot of people, if anybody, federally in jail for simple marijuana possession, unless you got weight, unless you hold some real weight, that ain't happening. That's a distribution charge. So people I know in prison federally for weed, they had pounds. Like I said,
on the road today, a little behind. We'll be back this afternoon trying to close this up, trying to still find it.
Like I told you guys, y'all gave up the booty on promises, and now he won't return y'all phone calls. He gave all the money, sending all the money abroad.
What you should feel is some kind of way that he used, what's the little rapper girl name? What was the rapper girl name? Carly B. He don't even know who a Carly B is, but he gonna call her up and pimp her. Well, she should have known better. But, you know, the potential president calling you. He pimped her for her 80 million viewers on some nonsense. Now, he wouldn't return Carly B's number if she was in the front of the White House.
Don't forget about Ice Cube. They supposed to give him a meeting after they won.
No, he ain't heard one. They don't want to help. Look, this dude, first of all, I'm also mad at the churches, too. I'm really pissed off. When the man stands up and tells a woman, the woman stands up, you can pull up on YouTube, she says, I got 2 daughters. One is a transgender and the other one is a daughter. He says, I'm going to put in place a law that allow your 10-year-old to be able to be who she want or what they want to be, which means we're going to take the ability to be a parent out of your hands. And the churches flocked because they kept talking about the orange man. They didn't even hear that this guy is for abortion. First he wasn't for it, and then the political landscape changed. All of a sudden he killing babies at 9 months. So how in the world view it right there? That's a deal breaker for a Christian. That should be a deal breaker. I don't care what's going on. But the orange man said, I believe in pro-life. I guess you didn't hear that. I guess he said, I'm gonna put on the when he did the address to the nation, I'm gonna put prayer back in school. He said that. Guess you didn't hear that. Come on, man.
No, but they heard good people on both sides. They heard that part. Out of context.
It's crazy.
They heard they're not bringing their best. That's what they heard.
Oh, here's the other one. I'm married to someone Spanish. I know about going across the borders. I hear the stories. Guess what the number one thing a woman has to do before she makes that trip through the desert? The first thing they have to do is they have to get on birth control. Why? Because they know there's lawlessness between and America. And they're going to get raped. They're going to get raped. 100%. So what the first thing that the woman has to do to protect herself is to get on birth control, because if they look like anything, you can best believe between the time they start that desert run and end that desert run, something's going to happen along the way.
Right.
So was he lying?
And the funny part is when he said it, I knew he was right because I think it was back in like 2007, Vice did a whole expose
right. They sure did.
On Border Patrol. They was following some agents. And the agents had to go into the tunnels because there was a lady in there about to get got. And they actually deterred it, and then they chased the guys back into, I forgot what part of Mexico it was. But the tunnel literally, it lets you out in a town.
You have to agree to your mind.
And like I told people, I said, you got these people out here thinking that
crazy, man.
they got the Spanish Harriet Tubman leading people to the freedom land. Like the cartels run those tunnels. The cartels own those tunnels. Those people got to pay the cartels big money to come here.
And they get kidnapped on the way here.
Exactly. Look what happened. Remember, it was just a couple of months ago. Remember, guys, just a couple of months ago, where they found 60 people inside of that tractor trailer. That was most of them were dead because they suffocated, heat stroke. Remember that coming across the border? A lot of them people got to pay big money to come here. I think upwards of like $6 grand to the cartels if they want to come to America. Donnie T put a stop to that. And what Nickelslick did when he get in office, he stopped the construction at the wall, left these major gaps open on purpose, only to come back and revisit the wall to say we're gonna put the wall up so he could take credit for it. Yeah, Jay, them kids get killed or abandoned on them trips. That's true. And then what happened with the kids that they use as drug mules when they get here? What happened to them?
No, that ain't the one. What happened to the kids that go missing because of this human sacrifice going on with these demonic Illuminati people and the ones with the Baphomet symbols, all these superstars? When you hear them say they have to sacrifice somebody. Well, if kids being kidnapped in America now on the milk carton, and you ain't got to worry about the milk carton, why wouldn't you let them order?
It's true. And like I say, life imitates art, right? You seen Eyes Wide Shut. That part of that movie didn't happen there. He put it in there because that's what's happening. We hear all these stories coming out. We hear all these Nickelodeon kids now coming out talking about Schneider's Bakery and what he did to them. Right? You got Disney now saying that 50% of their cast and characters are going to be LGBTQ, which incentivizes children to either say that's what they are or become that. And it also incentivizes these crazy parents out here to force their children to identify as that so they can get some work with Disney.
Oh, shit, ever. I mean, are we for real right now?
Yeah, that's right, Jay. This whole thing, spy versus spy behind closed doors. You're right about that.
1980, 1970, you look at smacking it.
But like I said, y'all mad at the guy. For 4 years, Donnie T put a wrench in the gears.
That means you
He put a wrench in the gears, and he knocked their agenda. He knocked their agenda clean off. Right? They had to get them out of the paint by any means necessary, so they can get back on track. And they working at a breakneck pace to make their timeline. That's why you see the raids at Mar-a-Lago. That's why you see them going after Alex Jones.
They won't even believe it.
That's why you see them canceling other YouTubers and other journalists and assassinating their characters and stuff like
I wouldn't
that.
have another kid right now.
Because they can't beat us toe to
They ain't
toe.
enough in America.
Like I said,
on this planet right now. No way.
Conservatives and the Republicans, they want a fair fight. But left ain't giving you no fair fight. They got plaster in their raps. They want to throw dirt in your eye. That's how things are, man. All I'm saying is y'all need to stand 10 toes down. Like you saw, I went live last night and talked about Alex Jones. I'm not afraid to do that. They went after him for his opinion and his thoughts and him questioning what happened at that school that day. And he wasn't the only person that did that. He didn't solely come up with those,
yeah, but he's the
those
one
solutions
that
or those
everybody
ideas,
knows.
But he's who everybody knows. He's the popular voice.
Right. They had to go to the biggest guy. They had to go to the biggest
Y'all
guy.
don't find it odd that they brought it up like a cold case? Nobody was talking about that. Nobody cared about that no more, but that's what they used to assassinate his character. That's what they used to bankrupt him. Because guess what? He can't run InfoWars without no money, can he? He's the sacrifice. Look at how they doing it. Like I said before, the first they come for Alex Jones, nobody said a thing. Then they came for Farrakhan, right? They came for Alex Jones again, and now they come for Kanye West.
Kanye West is a fruit. He's a fruit loop.
Hey, think what you will about Kanye. Freedom of speech is freedom of speech.
That's true, but he's still not. And once you say something about Jews, you're a rap.
Exactly.
You don't say nothing about Jews.
You don't say about the. We call them the Jabaris on this channel because they might cancel my channel for hearing that word.
They the they the chosen people. Point blank period.
And like I said, you want to know who's in charge? You want to know who's in power? Find out who you can't make fun of. Find out who you can't talk about.
Shoot. They in charge of biblically, so that's just what that is. Leave that alone.
Period.
Walk away.
And now Kanye finding out.
Walk away.
Kanye finding out now.
Walk away.
But freedom of speech is under attack.
But he talking about control, man, because they can't control me.
Yeah.
The Constitution is, they're trying to make it just a piece of paper that don't mean nothing. And the way they're going to do that is they're going to keep pushing this identity politics. They're going to keep pitting white against black, racial, when it's really the haves against the have-nots. The power, the redacted versus everybody else. The sooner people realize that and see that we got more in common than just racial lines and all this other stuff, sooner we can take the country back. Anyway, I appreciate y'all rolling with me. I'm about to get off here. I'm gonna save my battery. Me and Jay gonna be live tonight at, what time we going live, Jay? Is it 7? We're going live at 7. So make sure y'all set y'all a reminder for that. I'll make sure I tweet it out, put it out there. Hopefully YouTube will let y'all know when I go live, because last night they didn't. So anyway, this Cannon Hotep saying stay safe, stay well, stay strapped, stand up for yourselves, people. Holla at you.